What up, Dodgers Nation? I'm Clint. You probably know me. I'm hoping you know me. If not, I'm Clint, so welcome to the show. We're pretty blessed here. We have the root notes here. We have the music. We have the lifeblood energy of Dodger Stadium here today. Of course, Dieter is already a friend of the show. He's properly dressed as such. But DJ Severe over here is a part of the First Timers Club at Dodgers Nation. Hardest working DJ in SoCal, I think, maybe even beyond SoCal. You're the DJ for the Dodgers, the Galaxy, Ontario Reign, Ontario Fury. You make the stadiums knock is, I believe, how you say it, right?
I do.
Yeah. Again, these guys together make, I'm going to say, the best fan experience of all of baseball and all of sports. And you guys, whatever camera I'm looking at, you can quote me on that. So we got Dieter Ruehle in the house. We got DJ Severe in the house. Thanks for coming out, fellas. Really do appreciate you making a little bit of time here on this fine whatever day it is. We haven't had an opportunity to talk to you on one of these shows before. Tell us about your journey from the DJ booth to now the DJ booth at Dodger Stadium.
Wow. Okay. First off, let me say, I've toned down a lot of my sports. The only team I work for now is the Dodgers. So I want to focus on just one sports team, and I like the canvas at Dodger Stadium the best. So it makes it good. Plus, working with Dieter, it's awesome. I actually started back in 2007. I was just DJing in Dodger Stadium. I had a buddy who was a caterer. Okay. He worked in the Dugout Club as a manager. And the year that Ramirez came, they got back to
Manny Wood?
Manny Wood. It was, Dodger fan craze because we got in the playoffs after a while. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to bring me in to just spice up the field in the Dugout Club. Mm-hmm. So I would come in and I would DJ prior to the games and then after in like a little club spot. And slowly but surely, word got out about me, and I started DJing on every level at Dodger Stadium. So I had like 5 DJs working underneath me at one time. I did that. The next 2 seasons came back for opening day, big series I would spin. And slowly but surely, the Dodgers actually heard about me. So I started doing what was then Dodgers Under the Lights, where I DJed on the dugout. Slowly but surely, just more Dodger events, and I finally did the Dodgers Christmas party. The horn you played in the beginning with the DJ horn, I was playing that horn. That was when it first got hot. And the producer at the time asked me for that sound effect. About 3 months went past. I was on vacation in New York, and he emailed me, and he asked me for that particular sound effect. So I emailed it to him, sent it to him with a bunch of other stuff, and he said, matter of fact, we're looking for a DJ right now. Are you interested? So I was like, yeah, I'm interested. So I kind of shut down my whole vacation, just loaded up my website with just nothing but all my Dodger picks, because I'd been doing it so much. I started doing parties for other people, and I had so many picks from just different times, and I knew the feel from the stadium, from the Dugout Club to the top. So I knew this the difference, So I came in, interviewed, and I had never done any sports DJing, never done anything. But I actually knew the vibe at Dodger Stadium. I've been coming there since I was a kid. Plus, I've been doing it so much. So that was actually my first time, just really talking about DJing sports-wise. And I actually beat out like 3 other DJs who actually had done sports. And I think what I brought to the table was I was like one of the main people who actually was a DJ, because I actually have a pulse on outside what goes on and not just playing the typical same songs inside that you hear that people just grab and keep playing the same thing. Over. Just a typical, 80s rock that just, and you know what I mean? Everybody, and there's nothing wrong with it, but just bringing in a different flavor.
What about the first time you two ever worked together? What was that like?
We had both, I think, respected each other mutually from other sides, knowing that I could focus fully on music and most of the prompts.
The in-game stuff.
And in-game stuff would be,
take.
Right.
Yeah.
Once we both started gelling, and then we figured out, okay, there's a timing thing, and once we worked out the timing, which it took us maybe 2 homestands to work out the timing, and it usually just changes based off of players' music or different things that are going on and different like elements in the game. But once we develop our timing is like separate, that only me and him kind of know about. Nobody else really knows our timing.
Right.
And then we just, in spite of whatever else is going on, we just go, yeah. And then we know exactly what we're going to do anyway.
Yeah, that's the musicianship right there. Obviously, Dieter's been playing since he was 9 or 10. And, a good DJ is pretty much a fantastic musician. You just have a different instrument in front of you. So for you guys to be able to find that vibe and that gel, it's great.
I think most people don't know. There's just a lot going on. Like, we wear headsets, we communicate with a producer, there's a video director, there's just a lot going on. And just jumping in and like, right away getting a good rhythm, good chemistry with DJ Severe that just came naturally, I thought. So this way, like he said, he could focus more on what he covers, and I could cover the in-game stuff. This way we're not like walking on each other. We'll know he has this all the time. I have this all the time.
Even when certain players like certain songs, and you just, like I say, the musical element, like there's certain songs that after I play for particularly like Verdugo or Bellinger, which is California Love, and I'll know musically, elementally wise, where I need to come out so he can continue.
Right. Plus, there's also the MLB rules where you have to be out.
Right.
So people might wonder, why doesn't he just play it all the way till the pitch?
Right.
But he has to be out. But they're a little more lenient with Oregon.
But even if we go past it, I still go to another break that I know Dieter can kind of like carry.
Just hit right
you know
out
what
of
I
it.
mean? Hit right out of it.
Oh yeah, that stuff does not go unnoticed, especially in my household, because that's what's another one of the things that's great. You know, you guys have the ability to work with, and especially Dieter, you know, coming straight out of the song to work with Joe and Oral or Joe and Nomar in the booth. The way just how great, you know, obviously it spawned shirts out of that with the Funky Muncie last year, and you know, well, it's hard to do anything out of you know, Hotel California this year, but the way it's worked, it's just been fantastic. What about a regular day in the life for you guys? Because obviously, you know, you're behind the scenes, you're doing a game day. It's not just you two. You're also working there with Todd Lights, the PA guy. It's another, I mean, fantastic voice.
Yes,
and that's one of those guys. I want him just to do. I mean, you don't have answering machines anymore, but I want to get an answering machine just so Todd could record it for me. But you know, what's a day like of prep for you two and Todd and really the whole team, and how much of that eventually kind of sort of gets thrown out for the feel of the moment of the game?
We all get there roughly 3 to 4 hours before the game. And I think our prep is pretty similar. You know, we get a rundown from the producer on paper, script, you could call it. I know I just mark up my cues, do a little playlist. Then I'm sure it's probably similar for you. And Todd, I know I've witnessed him go over the player, go over the rosters. He gets his pronunciations. I don't speak for Todd, but, you know.
Me is a little different. Like, I usually try to come in with that minimum 5 new songs I can try. Sometimes it's not that easy because everything out there is like I spend most of my week off listening to new music on my record pools and different things, seeing if I can find something. I'm not trying to obviously change the canvas every time, but I'm trying to find these little tidbits, especially dance tracks that I can use to kind of incorporate, because I never want to sound the same, but I do want to keep what works, you know what I mean, but also add to that and then make it part of my arsenal. So I just come in on a typical game back trying to figure out which new songs I can use, which is probably at best 2 new songs. I kind of have an idea of which players might be changing their tracks. So I start watching my emails. I watch my text messages because there's some that just text me directly. So I watch my DMs. There's a lot of different ways they come in. And then I'm just checking. And once I think I'm kind of clear, then I'll focus in on what the day brings, like what kind of day it is, who we're playing. If I got a new mix, I might debut it there, but if I want to save it. So I'm just kind of like get a feel for just getting back and then getting the rhythm back, because it does take maybe 3 or 4 innings to get the rhythm back, especially if we've been off for a while. But for the most part, it gets easier as you step away.
I totally relate to that.
Yeah.
That first game back, sometimes my rhythm's just off.
It's different because we can come in with the greatest of energy, and then if the crowd's not there or if there's not, you know, then it takes a turn, and then we got to really snap to it like real quick.
Yeah, the LA crowd is almost always ready to party, but sometimes, you know, you're still getting in there, and you're maybe getting to your seat by 3 or the third inning, and you're pissed because you just fought in traffic, and maybe you missed your bobblehead or whatever it may be. But the good thing is, by the 9th inning, normally everybody's turned around, and if it's the 9th inning, we got a lead. Kenley's rolling into the California Love. That's got to be the fun part too. Like when you already have that set, you know what you're going to do. These players got that. Plus, on lock.
If I could say something that DJ Severe mentions, that like you would listen while they're on the road. Like before, me too. I do prep. Like even today, I'm home, learning, practicing. So it's the kind of jobs where we kind of take it home with us. Right. You know.
Yeah. I'm never not watching TV or movies, trying to see if I can grab this song, move this in. Yeah. Constantly Shazamming, constantly all the time. What is this? What is that? I think for me, that's happened is a lot more music producers are coming to the games. And so some of the stuff I listen to that's really not available that they just make, I've developed relationships and listening. So I'll send them DMs telling them who I am, and I really like the track. And then
people dropping their mixtapes at you.
But they're dropping me. I can get the tracks I want just as easy. So people are sending me music, you know what I mean, all the time I request, which is good because I'm making a relationship with them. And, you know, then they come to the stadium and I play it. And they're like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of the best like pub and marriage you could work. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better opportunity to get music that I normally couldn't get, emailed to me.
Yeah, there you go. And everybody, if you got some tracks, only hot tracks.
Yes, only hot tracks. But everybody says their track is the hottest in the intro, everybody.
But how many fire emojis are on the particular cassette? Yeah, have you ever got a cassette handed to you?
Oh, no. But DJ packs only. I tell people, like, if you're not, don't send me a YouTube link. You know what I mean? Send me a DJ pack with a clean version, instrumental, you know what I mean, everything on it. That's how I know you're ready to go.
Well, again, we know not every day is perfect. Then any particular moments or days stand out as like something just plainly didn't go right?
I can't think of.
That's the right answer.
No, I can't think of any. I mean, lots of times our energy is the same, calm. It's the people around who work with us who their energy might be a little different, stressed out, or for different things. Like opening day, everybody's stressed out on opening day.
Yeah.
Everybody's stressed out on opening day because we got this, we got that, we got this. And because we do everything, we're kind of like, okay, it's kind of like the same thing you prepare for. It's just like, okay, we might be doing something different here or there. But everybody else is kind of stressed out. So there's a lot of pressure, and you can just feel the tension off people. Sometimes you want to just give me the script and kind of stay away. And it's like, tell me what you want.
Yeah, because speaking of pressure, at least for me, during the game, and then once the game's over, I'm still up here.
Right.
Like, I just don't go home and go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's just the focus, and there's just the adrenaline rush.
Right.
There's the crowd and the energy.
Right.
Like I think Vin used to say the roar of the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so real. It's so true.
Oh yeah.
And you feel it, and we're feeling it. You know.
And Dodger Stadium,
we're thinking.
That's all real. You get that where they're saying other stadiums they pump in the sound crowd or whatever it is. No, Dodger Stadium, we're real. We're about it.
Yeah.
Well, about the stadium for each of you guys, what was the first like wow moment? This is it. I'm at Dodger Stadium and I'm doing this. This is my life. This is real life.
When I actually got the gig and I came in to do my first Freeway series, and it's just me there, and it's like I'm right in the middle of it, and I'm talking to the producer, and I brought in at the time they let me bring in my Serato mixer, so I'm trying to figure this out from my little Serato mixer at the time, my TTM 57, and I'm realizing it's not just regular DJing. Like I'm having to think, DJing, you're listening to your track, matching up BPMs, you're going. Now I'm pausing and waiting and trying to have the perfect track loaded up here to go, and being prepared for a home run or something happens or a layout or just different things. So, and at that point in time, it really set in because that was the first time I was in with a full crew, a producer to my right, an announcer here, sound guy, you know what I mean, organ player. And it's like, that was the first time I really set in, like, okay, this is different. This is not the club. This is like sports. And it was just preseason. The game meant nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got to do this 81 more times. You know what I mean? This is not just the gig is over and I'm done. Like, no. So that's when it really set in for me the first time.
And that's where we'll get your answer in that in a second, but that's where it's got to be weird too, like that, where that vibe changes, whatever. You're going to be here, but then that home run hits. So now you got to be like, oh, I got to change it. I got to change my tone and hit where the fans are at. Dieter, what was your wow moment?
I think similar to DJ Severe is like one of those first Angels preseason games, and just playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but not just playing it, but then hearing the response, the people singing along. Like, wow. Because even though I do wear headphones, I can still hear it. You know? And that was probably it for me.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's awesome when you look out and you see. And we're talking about the crowd noise. I love playoff baseball. You watch playoff baseball, no matter who the team is, and it goes from silent, and then you hear the crack of the bat, and the whole stadium But that's people in the playoffs. But that's Dodger Stadium all the time.
Yeah.
You get so addicted to that, waiting for that happen, that sound, and then just for one of us right at the end to come in at the perfect time and add to that. It's the best feeling in the world. You can't even. It's hard to produce it other than in playoff baseball or a tense moment at Dodger Stadium. You know what I mean? It's nothing like it.
Yeah, some of those moments after, like the most recent one, what was it, a brouhaha between Arizona and all that. That's something where you kind of got to find that little rhythm the next day or whatever. Unfortunately or fortunately, it happened right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But that's where the ones where the next day everybody's on it right away. Same almost playoff atmosphere, and thankfully you guys get to live that playoff atmosphere every single year. So that's got to not be rough for you. And I'm guessing I have the question. I'm already assuming the answer is gonna what the answer is gonna be, but what keeps it fun for you every day?
Every day I keep telling myself to live in the moment and enjoy the moment, because I've been through the lean years. I'm here now. Seems like we're built, for a lot of good years. Just kind of being in the moment every day and telling myself how awesome it is and not trying to put too much pressure on, not to force it. And one of the main reasons I'm enjoying it now is the interaction that D and I have organically grown with the fans. You know what I mean? The different reactions that we're getting and the different responses that we're getting on social media. That's one of the things that I like, how that's organically growing. It's not just a whole bunch. It's very manageable, and it's, you know what I mean? It's very hands-on, and it's not, to me, it's not imposing at all. You know, you kind of like, of course, you can't answer every request, but just the compliments that we get, that's probably the most fulfilling thing I think is now, is like how many compliments we get and the recognition and how it's, you know, growing. You know what I mean? I respect Dieter because, number one, you know, he's been in the sports industry a lot longer than me at 25 years. So I always acquiesce to him and try to like learn from him. But to see it grow separately and as a team on different levels, because, you know, he has fans, I have fans, we have fans to get, you know what I mean, together, because there's people who probably gravitate more to what I do, but they, you know what I mean, or gravitate more to what he does. So, but I like when they merge together, you know what I mean? And in every way, even the people that are just fans of me, when I talk to them, then they become fans of him, and vice versa once they find out exactly what's going on.
That's awesome.
I was gonna say, like, the day of a game, and I tell myself, where am I going? I'm going to Dodger Stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just never gets old.
Right.
But it's all about the fans, because you can have this beautiful stadium, but if it was empty, it just wouldn't be the same.
Right.
So everything you just touched on right now, that's so true. That's the biggest. It's probably the biggest thrill, just the interaction with the fans, whether it's through social media or just seeing how they react.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a pretty
the energy
pretty
is just
awesome feel.
awesome. Energy is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about modern baseball and just where we're at as it can be a cool thing with where we're at as a society, because right away people can be like, this is banger, or this is awesome, this is a great environment, great job Dieter, great job DJ, everything like that. That's cool. But of course we unfortunately see the other side of it too. But we're not going to focus in on the bad. What we got to talk about next is the players and the music, and I'm guessing DJ Severe, this is probably going to go more towards you, but any songs or any sort of walk-up music, anything like that was shut down by a player?
By a player? No, but and this is kind of what's happening with Verdugo and his pick. In my back of my mind, I'm telling him, like, you're stuck with this pick, like you can never change this song. Because and I've seen it before with Adrian Gonzalez, because he had Mariachi Loco, and time after time when I would go down to spring training, I talk to him, I was like, you got any changes? Like, you know, I can't change my song, but I'd like to add this. So I've seen it happen before. I just wondered how much he hated that song, or you know what I mean? The reason why I know he can never change Verdugo is because there was one instance where Mariachi Loco didn't play, and I don't even know why it was, and I don't think it was even supposed to play. But we had a fan call up, or why is it the DJ playing Mariachi Loco? And we were like, and it was like someone in security, like they got to someone in security and called up, and we were like, we didn't even know how they got the number to Dodger Vision.
Yeah, that fan experience number
right,
up in there.
Right, it was crazy. And everybody's looking at each other like, why? We weren't even supposed to play at the time. But I've never had anything just not wanted to be played by them. I've actually had just totally awesome experiences with all the players. Just even the fact of getting to know them. The DJ used to be hands off, but I kind of, you know what I mean, made my way to where I'm kind of hands on, and it was really because of Garrett Anderson. When I first got there, he asked for some of my mixes.
Oh, right on.
So I made him 2 mixes. And I took him down, and they were asking me how much, and this was PR. I said, I don't even want anything. I just want to meet him.
Nice.
So the next day, I went down, and it's Garrett Anderson, and it was James Loney at the locker room. And so he just came out, and I met him, took a pic. I went up about my business, and during like the 5th inning, I got an envelope, and it had $500 in it.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, you know, and I didn't even want, you know.
It wasn't the goal.
It wasn't the goal. I just really wanted to meet them. And then the next day, you know, he said he wants some more, so I just gave him, I made some more hip-hop ones, and I gave it to him. And the same thing happened. I wasn't even looking for any, you know what I mean, any payoff. I just liked the fact of, you know, you appreciated my music, and then I wanted to be known. And so PR saw that I had a very good interaction with the players, and it actually made it easier for them because they would give me tracks names with the wrong artists, nowhere near what they really were saying. So I'd have to do extra homework. So it actually took pressure off of them to where if I don't go down to spring training, the players are kind of pissed because they're like, "Where's Severe at?" Because we want to tell you our choices, and we don't want to tell you because you're gonna, you know, mess it up. Spring training is like a really good time where we kind of, you know, talk about it. What do you think about this here? What do you think about that? So I mean, at first the DJ never did that.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I kind of like made my way, and I don't bug them. I just go down maybe once or twice, and I always make sure you know what I mean, everything is good. But we've developed a real good chemistry when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think the story wasn't it Russell Martin who'd come to you and said, hey, you got to put on the Fresh Prince theme for Will Smith, or how did that all work
At first
out?
he didn't have anything, and I went down the day he came in, and he didn't have a choice. I said, okay. And I waited, and we didn't get anything to it. Like right before the game started, I got an email from PR. It's like, oh, it's Will Smith. And I said, are you sure? I was like, from what I hear, Russell Martin heard, and that's what he told him as the vet, but no, that's your song.
Yeah.
And I actually asked him at Kershaw's ping pong challenge last week.
Yeah.
Like, you really want to keep that? He's like, I'm stuck with it.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I mean?
that's
He's like, I
another
like
one.
it. He's like, I don't mind it. You know what I mean? Because lots of times, people want to put the different cliche things on, which I've never been about that. Like, I don't want to work that hard to try to put music to a cliche, because then I'll be overthinking, and I want to just think about music. So when I asked him,
enough
you know what I
sense.
mean, if he's cool with that, then he said, yeah.
I say leave that to me.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean,
be the one being
yeah.
all cheesy
I mean, and that's
with
where
the
that's where
cliche
that's
stuff.
where that's where the I like to leave that to him, because
It's a
you
little
can
more
play a certain
subtle.
part. It's so more subtle
We're
than
not-
me having to play a whole song about
Yeah.
it.
Having those first few beats drop for
Right.
Fresh Prince that just hits, and now forever Will Smith is stuck with that, because we have standards at Dodger Stadium. This
Right.
is what we need to hear.
Right.
Dieter and I were talking a little bit about it. We've talked about it in the past, and we're talking a little about it before he got here with like the simple one with you and Verdugo, the way that's kind of gravitated. Like early in
Yeah.
the season was Rock Lobster, because he's got them bright,
Yeah.
bright
Yeah.
red things, and that was
Yeah.
one of the things. Me and the old lady was like, is that Dieter's doing it again.
Yeah.
And then, so for me, I guess we'll cut it out if it's cutting into anybody here. But with now it's Vertigo. Is that a little bit of the play on the
play on-
ESPN?
yeah. No, actually, his name.
Just in general. Okay. 'cause-
Verdugo.
Yeah, around here we make fun of A-Rod's enunciation
Oh,
of
I
Alex.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he actually calls him Vertigo.
Does
Oh,
it
wow.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Wow.
And it's also Max Monsi and whatever. But,
Oh, wow.
that's
Oh,
just
gee.
me and my general distaste for A-Rod. But, but again, that's just me.
But I was also doing the Doogie Howser for him as well.
Love that.
So
yeah.
with Verdugo, there's like a handful I could do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he checks off a lot of the boxes for you, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Weirdest song request?
Probably have to be Careless Whispers, when Grinky had that. Have hands down. No, I can't say that. No, it was actually for Mother's Day once, and I can't think of the player. The Saturday Night Live riff that it was Justin Timberlake and the mom song.
The Mother Lover?
Yeah, Mother Lover.
Yeah.
Yeah, which almost didn't make it. I had to
that's
do a
gotta be
crazy edit.
The clean version
Yes,
on that one. That's
yes,
a
that
little
was
tough to
that
pull
was
off.
hands down. Other than Careless Whisper, those are the top two that got it.
I'm guessing, Dieter, you probably got to get a lot of your weirdest ones from the internet.
There was it was
Yeah.
social media through Twitter. Recently, Tony Gonsolin was pitching, and I guess he looks a lot like Frank Zappa.
Oh, yeah, I've
You
seen
know,
that.
and I got some requests to play some Zappa just because they look alike.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Right.
But I ended up going with cat songs because he's a cat lover.
Yeah, that's
right.
what I
They
didn't
did the
maybe
What's New Pussycat.
say maybe I missed it. I don't know if you had the keyboard cat.
Yeah, well, that's just a visual thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, does
no,
it actually
I mean,
play?
people will know the song. People will know the keyboard
Oh.
cat song, even though I can't think of it right now.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
find it. We'll send it to you on the
Yeah.
internet.
That was an awesome one for me, by the way, because I'm like,
Thanks.
I'm always like listening and trying to figure out. Even though I'm playing, I'm trying to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes they go over my head. I have to take me a couple of days to kind of figure them out. But
you
yeah.
can't Shazam the organ.
Yeah, no. But that was one of the dopest ones I said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so this is always the fun generic music one that's the head scratcher thinker, but we've gotten Dieter on it a couple of times. It's your first time, but Dieter, I want to get your most recent one. What's your walk-up song?
Oh,
Your walk-up song.
hands down, Made You Look by Nas.
Does it check the boxes, guys? I think it checks the boxes.
Yeah,
Think of that. We're
hands
getting a
Hands
couple
down.
points on that one.
Hands down.
Dieter, where you at this
this
time?
This is because just driving in today, channel surfing on the radio, and I heard from start to end, I heard Kryptonite. And it
Oh,
makes me
wow.
think
Yeah.
of AJ Pollock.
Yeah.
You know, because
Okay.
spring training, he did that bit with Ross Stripling. And I just heard it. I go, yeah, I just love the beginning
Right.
part. I think that I would change it. A few months ago, I said Ray of Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the beginning. It was just the, you know.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I would probably change it every few homestands, I think, if it was me. Yeah.
I get it.
For me,
Yeah.
it's Raining
Yeah.
Man all day long. That's just a great
Really?
song. No.
Wow. Nice.
No, that's terrible.
It's raining. Well,
Hallelujah.
we'll remember that next time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
When I say we're there,
Yes.
When you're there, when you're on the
Yes.
field for a ceremonial pitch.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, I
might
think-
come. Here's Dodger Nation.
I'm gonna have to
Here's-
throw that out there at some. I have to get
It's
like
Raining
Eric,
Man.
I will remember that.
producer Eric, to throw me out on the field. So it'll be his ass in the pot or whatever the hell they call it. Well, you guys are obviously both Dodger fans. It's a fantastic season. We can't get you guys here without getting thoughts about where we're at right now in the middle of August. Just first off, what's it been like with these rookies?
Awesome. And I can't tell you a better down to earth crop of just rookies that come in, and you follow somebody, they follow you right back. You know what I mean? And just the interaction that you see and going up to them, you know what I mean? And just them just being totally they're not in awe, just kind of cool and calm. You know what I mean? You can just feel there's something special about them, you know?
Yeah, they've been a very, very exciting
Yeah.
bunch for sure.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
No, I just everything he said, and I'm not as close to the guys as he is, but I know just through social media, like for Matt Beatty, I started playing a song from the Tennessee Volunteers, Rocky Top.
Oh, okay.
And I think I know his wife. You guys had him on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
So
dope.
his wife noticed, and that just made me happy.
Yeah.
Like, she seemed excited about it.
Yeah, Jessica pays attention to a lot of the little details like that.
Yeah, it's like, and so yeah, I did play it, and that was me. And then Matt, of course, liked that, which was cool. Then he was aware that was all happening.
So
yeah.
one of his, they had mentioned one of his Matt Beatty's nicknames in college was Darth Bader. So
I think I read all that.
Yeah,
there
you
was
could
a
go
few,
ahead.
the Beatty Boo.
Yeah, so there's an easy opportunity
There's-
if you want to
sure.
throw in the Imperial
Sure.
March or something, even
Yeah.
though that's more for the
Right,
bad
right.
guys.
Bad guys.
But dealers, let's lead off with you. What's been your favorite moment of the year so far?
I don't know if there's just one because we've had like the walk-offs.
Yeah, 5 walk-offs in a row.
5 in a row.
Of variant
There was
success
the-
or
the
various
five-
types.
The five. There
Oh,
was
the 5
walks.
walk-off.
That was
Yeah,
it.
the fourth one. That was the fourth of the 5.
And the Bellinger, and he just
Yeah.
sort of threw his pad
Yeah.
in the air. Oh, but no, I can't pick a one. But I guess all the walk-offs in general.
Yeah,
My
that's
favorite
a
moments.
moment. That's absolutely a moment. That's
Yeah.
one of those things where you're gonna look back and it's like all the different narratives of this
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
and almost all the narratives has been positive. It's
Right.
there haven't been that low moment.
There was
Right.
at least one. We were down to our last strike.
Yeah.
2 strikes, 2
Right.
outs. I think it was
Right.
the walk. The
Yeah.
walks
Yeah.
we just
Yeah,
talked about. I think
exactly.
Taylor was down
Yeah.
0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Earned a walk, and it kept going and kept going.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, Severe? What you got?
yeah.
Probably the Baumgartner game when we trolled him. That was probably, you know what I mean?
That was fire.
That was because that was when we did some of our best work. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And collectively together.
Yeah.
And then just one of the things where it just worked out perfect. And then we just kind of like, and we didn't even talk about it. We just kind of like, you know what I mean? He did his, I did mine.
Just knew it.
Yeah, we kind of like knew it, and I was just kind of like focusing on it. And then
Yeah.
that was probably my favorite this year. Constantly getting able to hit. I love LA. You know what I mean? I think I've hit it more times than, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I mean, yeah, that game, and then just the season overall is just, you know what I mean, awesome to me.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and every time we could hit it, Randy. I'm a very happy camper, and I know most people that are Dodger fans wearing this fine blue color are
Yes.
going to be happy to hear Randy Newman. Who ever would have thought like Randy Newman still like
Right.
this guy really?
Right.
Love that guy. Longtime Dodger fan, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player growing up?
Dusty Baker.
Dusty, but good call.
Yeah.
You know what? That's another couple of points. That's a money call right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dieter.
Bill Russell.
That's right. I think we've gotten Bill Russell out of you before, and that's also a good call. For me, I don't know. I think I'm going to go Jason Worth again. I'm just odd.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
It was
Yeah.
just one of those things, man. He had a big moment that hit for me. Nobody asked about
But it
mine,
just
but I
shows,
decided I wanted to.
No, no,
shows
no.
you're,
That's it.
you're
Yes.
younger than us.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
grow up with Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah.
Well, we had him for like what a season and a half,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
What about not just this season? The final one I think I have for you here on paper. Favorite moment all time as a Dodger fan, whether it's working at the stadium or just being a fan in general.
I was gonna say I can't pick a one,
Mhm.
but being in back-to-back World Series,
Mhm.
just witnessing it all, being a really small part of all that's going on around us, you know, with MLB coming in and just the whole national spotlight on Dodger Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
and then pretty much everything we do gets
Right.
noticed, but by a larger crowd, a national crowd,
Mhm.
or maybe sometimes even international.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think just being a part of those World Series.
Yeah. For me, it's probably going to be, I think, 3 seasons ago. I just happened to be walking in, and Steve Garvey was walking in at the same time.
All right.
And it was just me and him, and we started having a conversation, and I was telling him what I do. He's like, oh, but the conversation I had was so personable with him. It wasn't even about what goes on. He was asking me where I grew up, and I said Pasadena. And he was saying, oh, Pasadena's such a nice place. We had a conversation for like 20 minutes just walking down the hallway. And that was like, for me, that was like awesome to me. 'Cause that's when I grew up, coming to Fan Appreciation Day, being on the other side, and then, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Dusty Beer coming out, Sonny, just taking that picture. That was probably the best for me. You know what I mean? Just having a random conversation with Steve Garvey. Not even about baseball, not even about anything, but just being him being so personable. You know what I mean? And having more of a conversation about me than, anything else. Because whoever thought when I was a kid, I'm going to be DJing here, and one day I'm going to have a conversation with Steve Garvey. It was like, you know what I mean?
Or
unbelievable.
Even a conversation here on Blue Heavy Podcast.
Yes, that too. You know what I mean? That too. Because the reaction we get from people, and like, I love doing this when people want to know more about it. It's so awesome. And to me, it's so personable to just us. I mean, because it's like our own like little thing that we have. And you know what I mean? No matter how big or how little it gets, it's so nice just to get the recognition for the hard work. So we really do work hard. And I commend Dieter for everything he does. And like I said, I don't think people really understand what it takes to do it, but you know what I mean, we work hard.
I speak on behalf of Dodgers Nation and Dodger fans, as many as I can. Again, it doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate everything you guys do. You make it a party. You make the stadium bop every night. At least 81 games. So let's be realistic. We're getting 11 more wins this October, so there's gonna be plenty of time and plenty of good World Series baseball coming up. But gents, appreciate you guys coming out, taking some time, and hopefully everybody enjoyed the opportunity to get to know more about the backside of what goes on at the stadium.
Yes.
I feel weird we didn't get anything on the keyboard with you here for this. We'll get a little bit of something after the fact. You want to play us off? I know that's always the hardest part, because
What's a play?
that's what was it? Joe and Oral were trying to get you to play your favorite song. It's like, you can't ask somebody what your favorite song is.
Well,
Somebody in music.
I just wouldn't have a number one. Yeah, it's like,
that's
what's your
very hard
favorite
to do.
food? So what did I? Oh, when they asked that, you know what I played, right? I played.
Oh yeah.
So.
Which also does hit. DJ Severe, let people know where to find you on Twitter and Instagram.
Everybody, I'm DJ Severe. You can find me on Twitter at DJ Severe, on Instagram, The Real DJ Severe.
Look at that. And everybody knows Dieter, but Dieter.
If you wanted to find me on social media, I'm on Twitter at my name, DIETERRUEHLE.
It seems hard.
Dope.
Too many vowels.
Too many
But
vowels.
thank Ellis Island for that.